So, we are looking at an idle game today. Yes, I know, another idle game. Shut up. Uh, this is Corner Crawler by Dungeon Door Studios, and as you might guess from the name, it is a little game that is supposed to run down in the bottom right corner of your screen. So you install the downloadable client. I'm looking at the browser client, but you install the downloadable client, and it just you set it going, and it runs potentially ignored down at the bottom right corner of the screen. There is a slight issue with it, which we will talk about later. This isn't a very big game, so there isn't a lot that we're going to say about it too much. A little bit of critique afterwards. I'll show you the gameplay very quickly. So let's first of all have a look at the settings. We just have an overall sound control. There is no music or anything like that, other than this little bit of music in the sort of the start page, which does go away as well. I think the game does need a bit more music and the ability to turn it off, but that's just me. Right, we can, the rest of these are settings for the downloadable client. They just happen to be present in the browser client. And one thing I don't like is the way the back button is sort of off to the left and disconnected from the frame. I think the back button should be where this is, and this should be over there. I mean, it's nice to see something different, but people are not used to controls moving around, and they can get quite upset about it. And it did take me a moment to find that and go, how do I close this? What's going on? That would be a consideration. But let's jump in and have a look at the gameplay. We're not going to get the little tutorial. It actually pops up a little dialog box telling you all of the things about it, and it was fine. As a tutorial, it worked just fine. But it didn't happen, so we're going to do it. Let's maximize out the screen here. This is us in bed. We're this little pale character. Yes, the artwork does look a bit Terraria-esque, especially if it's sitting small down on the side of the screen, which I'm a fan of. I love Terraria's art. I play quite a bit of it, so it's nice to see something along those lines. So this is us. This is our inventory. It normally starts like that, but I've been playing for a little bit. So we can equip items on our left here. We can equip the sword, which is our training sword. It doesn't really do much or anything like that. We don't have any other equipment, so we can have a look at our stats, which are basically the starting stats, because I've only played a tiny bit, didn't really progress anyway. So that's what the stats page looks like. There's our health. We've got like critical strikes and armor and blocking chance and attack speed. This is our experience over there. This is our level over there. We're level 1. We only have $20. Talking of money, this is our shop. We use this mirror, which is presumably a magic mirror of some sort, in which we can buy things. We can, for example, buy leather armor for $274, or just a cloth hat for $113. That'll boost out the block and evasion and all that kind of stuff. And it's the shop resets every 2 hours. That's what this means over here. We've been playing for a little bit, so it's 1.4 or 1.6 here. But yeah, it's every 2 hours the shop will have new items. And that's it for our little home, our little ability to do things. What we can do is just go out into the world. So to do that, we click on the door. We pick one of the worlds to go to. We're just going to pick world 1, which will be the easiest world. And off we trundle, and we stride off into the wilderness until we meet someone that we then immediately do battle with and slaughter. So I guess for some kind of murder hobo, I don't know. So this is an enemy. We fight him. He does a little bit of damage to us. We do a lot of damage to him. Apparently they don't have much health. And we successfully kill him. And this is kind of what the gameplay is. Now remember, this is happening in a very small window down the bottom right, and you're supposed to be able to stop watching it and go and do something else. Switch to a different page or a window or something like that. And I really like that. I think that is a good idle game mechanic, a good way of designing it. I know you can do that with the browser games. You can switch to another tab in the browser, but it does feel a lot more compelling, a lot more interesting to be able to just shrink it down to a corner of the screen and just have it there doing things. It's like those sort of desktop pets that were all the rage like 25 years ago. I saw a lot of them around. You still see them occasionally. People still have them. and a new one pops out every so often, kind of like a Tamagotchi. And then it's every so often in the game you have this thing where you can choose to return. So I'm going to choose to return, and this is what we've got. We've got 6 experience points. Did we get a new training sword? I don't know. And we got $17. So if we return, and we will go and get into bed, and we'll slowly heal up. We can have a look at our inventory. Yeah, so we did pick up a piece of loot. We got another training sword. So if we can sell that, so we can sell a stack of items with the right click, or just an item with the left click. Did we actually get $60 for that? Yeah, so we actually got quite a bit of money. Unfortunately, I don't think we still have enough to buy anything yet. These are all a little bit too expensive. Almost enough to buy a cloth hat, which would boost our survivability, but we didn't. Alright, so yeah, that's it. That's the gameplay in a nutshell. We fought a bit, we killed some things, we got a little bit of experience. I don't know if we know how much experience we need to level. There's no information on the mouse overs. It'd be nice to have a better idea of where the progression is headed. But we don't have anything like that. So that's it. That's all the gameplay I'm going to show you. I think this is a good game to come and play, to have running in the corner of your screen. And that's really it in a nutshell. So if you're just here for the gameplay, thank you for watching. Don't forget to like, comment and subscribe, because that's how you train YouTube to show you the kind of videos you want to see. You engage with them when you find them, and it will go, oh, this person likes these kind of videos, and we'll show you more of those kind of videos. And obviously it helps me because it boosts engagement for my video, and that will be then shown to more people. So yeah, win-win situation. Also, I like to hear from you guys, so don't forget to comment. Really, tell me what you think. Tell me how you feel. And thank you for watching if you are just here for the gameplay. If you are here for the critique, however, right, we do have some things to talk about. We have already mentioned the UI. There's not much music happening in the background, so a single sound control is fine, but it would be nice if there was music that you had the option to turn on or off, just something very slow and lilting that just blends into the background. The rest of the controls are absolutely fantastic. Like I said, I don't like this UI design with the back button over there. I prefer it in the top right to match kind of the Windows standard, which is quite convenient, but it doesn't really matter. It's fine as long as it's there, as long as you can see it. Yeah, the rest of the UI is fine. It would be nice if we also had access to the options while we're playing. I don't think we do. It's only here in the home screen, but that can be quite difficult to do technically if that is the case, so I wouldn't worry too much about that. The sounds, like I said, there's no music. It would be nice if there's an optional little bit of music playing in the background. Obviously this is a playing in the corner of the screen game, so you're not supposed to have the sounds be intrusive. I would prefer if they were a bit bassier, a bit more visceral, but they're absolutely fine. No good things about the sound. The art again is a little close to Terraria art, but not really enough to, I think, be an issue. And I love the look of it. I love the art design myself personally. Picturing it as small art down in the corner, I think this would look absolutely fantastic. So yes, no arguments about the art. If we have a look at the while we're playing, I mean, this is just good background stuff happening. I feel compelled to try and break the bushes to see if I can catch bugs to go fishing with, and that's Terraria talking. And the little bad guys, I think one thing I will say is the bad guys don't really look bad enough. I would like it if they were a bit darker, a bit more evil looking. I don't know why I'm slaughtering them. Am I supposed to be the bad guy? I don't know. So I would have adjusted them to look a bit more evil, give them red eyes or something, just to go, these are bad guys that I do need to fight. And then we talk. That's it on the sort of the basic mechanical critique. So now we're talking about the gameplay, and this is where I have the first major issue with the game, and that is if I die, I lose everything and I go back and I restart. And this is supposed to be an idle game, so if I should be able to ignore this game and leave it running down in the bottom right corner of the screen, and it does stuff by itself. So it's an idle game. The progression is supposed to be by the game by itself. But if I die and I reset, then that's not something I can ignore. I have to keep an eye on the game. Like here, so this should be trying to make me return with the countdown and not I didn't get any gear there. And then I have to click it to continue, because if I'm busy with something else and I miss that, this could be putting me on a run where I'm going to die, where my character will die, and I lose my progression, I lose my progress, I lose where I am in the world. Just checking the stats here. Yeah, we're up to 14 XP. I don't know if it's 100 to go up a level. I don't know if you lose your level when you die. So the problem is this idle game is not really an idle game, because it'll never progress if left to be entirely idle. Your character will just keep walking in the world until he is killed, and then the progression resets. And that is not the idle ethos. So I think that is a bad thing. I think that is actually a fail in the game design part. If I'm making sense, if I've missed an option somewhere to make that less of a scenario, I can actually buy that hat now, so I can give my guy this hat. And do I get to visually see the hat on him? Let his health increase. So that is the main gameplay issue. Everything else is absolutely fine. Everything else matches the idle ethos perfectly. But what is going on with the fact that I could die and reset if I ignore the game, if I let it be an idle game? And that is bad. That's wrong, I think. But I mean, if the dev doesn't feel that, and if the other players don't feel that, obviously I'm wrong. That's the nature of these videos, so don't take that as some kind of definitive critique. But I would consider that, or at the very least make it more of an alert when I reach the crossroads, and give me more than just the 4 seconds to decide whether or not to continue or whatever. Because if I'm switching back from some other focus, it's going to take me longer than the time I have to go, oh, what's going on? Am I surviving? Do I go back? Some of the bad guys do a lot of damage. So you could be low on health earlier than you think, and it'll take you time to see that, and then suddenly you set off into the world and you're going, oh no, I'm continuing in the world, I'm going to die, I'm going to lose all the stuff that I have. So yeah, not good. That is bad. I would say if you die, lose some XP, lose some money, but every time you go out in the world, it should be progress, and you should be able to ignore it. And then the final critique is just the immersion elements. This is a game jam game, so I should have mentioned that at the beginning. That is the context that we're looking at this game with here. It is for a game jam, so it is missing a lot of the immersion and things like that. If I was to the dev, we can't see our equipment on us either, but yeah, if I were the dev and wanting to make the game sort of the next level, sort of post game jam, so a game that is worthy of kind of releasing and things like that, I add the storyline, add the lore in, tell us who our hero is, why is he murder hoboing his way through the world, what is the context here, who are these bad guys that we're fighting, why are we slaughtering them, what's the storyline, why do we care about this character, why are we rallying behind his flag, his banner. We need to know those kind of things. So get writing, developer, because I don't think it takes that much effort to write that kind of stuff. It doesn't need to be in the screen anyway. It just needs to be somewhere, like back in his little home space. Is that any kind of... Oh, we've got a crossbow. Attack speed 0.8. Same attack speed, more damage. And it actually adds some evasion. And some block. Alright. Oh, cool. And we can sell you. And that's fantastic. Brilliant. Okay, so that is it, really. That's all I have to say about it. Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video. I hope you would like to see more videos in the future. But until then, thank you for watching, and goodbye.